Hola cafeños, we are Cafe Con Leche Travels. My name is Travis.
I'm David, and today we want to talk about 10 things that we feel like will make your life easier if you're moving to Merida, Mexico.
So let's go. The first thing that's going to make your life so much easier in Merida or really anywhere in the Yucatan is a dehumidifier.
We really didn't know the extent of the humidity here and what that really feels like and affects. It is very humid in Merida, and my allergies are even flaring up, and I didn't even know that I was allergic to anything.
So there's two types of dehumidifiers that you can have in your house. We have both, so let's show you. We got this humidifier on Amazon in Mexico and had it shipped to us here. You can either do that or bring one. They come in a range of sizes. This one was about $50 US. We'll put the link below. But we just want to show you, this is 2 weeks of condensation. It's been, I think, less than 2 weeks. And so every week or so, we empty it out, and this is how much is in there. I mean, that's bananas. And when we leave for trips and there's no air or fans running, this definitely fills almost all the way up. So if all this water was in the air, it would create a lot of moisture, obviously, and mold is what you really have to be concerned about when living in Merida and living in the Yucatan. So this is key and clutch. Now David's going to show you the other type of dehumidifier.
So another way to dehumidify your space is to use damp rid, which you can get at any Walmart or Home Depot. Basically put these calcium chloride crystals in the top of this beautiful contraption. It sits at the top, and throughout kind of a course of time, it starts to funnel the moisture that's in the air down at the bottom, and it collects water at the bottom. We just kind of refill this one so there's no water in here, but this is what this looks like. We put these in our pantries and our closets, kind of in the corners, to kind of catch small spaces. You can also get the kind that hang in your closet on a hanger, and that collects water in a little bag. So there's kind of a lot of options as far as this, but it is very helpful as far as dehumidifying your space if you don't want to get an electric dehumidifier.
The second thing that is going to make your life easier in Merida, Mexico that we had no idea about before moving here is the water is very hard. There's, we believe, a lot of calcium deposits in the water.
Yeah, it kind of creates these things that look like rocks that kind of form in your drains and your faucets. So it's kind of important to get that stuff out when you can. So what we do is unscrew the top of the faucet, and it kind of brings out, see in there's kind of these little crusty things, then that's the calcium that's building up. And so you just want to empty that out probably once a month and screw it right back on, and it helps your faucet run clearly and thoroughly.
What we didn't know when we first moved in, after the first month, 2 months, all of the water pressure seemed to go away, and it was dripping out of every faucet. It was oh, we lost water pressure, there's something wrong with the tank, and our landlord and plumber came over and were like, no, you just need to do this every couple of weeks, and then the water will flow a lot more easily and freely.
Yeah, so if you get here and your faucets are running low, try that first before you freak out and call someone, because that's probably what's happening.
And you can also soak the end in a little vinegar and warm water if you really want to clean it out. That will help.
You can also pour some of that down your drains, because it can start to build up in your drains as well.
Vinegar will be your best friend in Merida.
So the next thing that we feel like might help make your life a little bit more comfortable in Merida is a car. Merida is a drivable city, unless you're staying specifically in Central, which is a little bit more of a bikeable, walkable space. Everything else you'll actually need a car for, mainly if you have a family.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We've lived here almost a year without a car, and yes, sometimes we have to wait a minute for an Uber, a minute longer than we'd like to. Last night we had 3 Ubers cancel on us in a row. When that happens, that is frustrating. And if we had a car, obviously it'd be a lot easier to just hop in and go to dinner.
Yeah.
But if you have a family with children and all of the things that come with children, your life is going to be so much easier if you have a car.
You can do that however, I guess, feels the best for you. So if you want to rent one, you can definitely do that here. Or if you want to bring your own, you can do that.
And we believe you do need a temporary or permanent residency visa to buy a car in Mexico, but double check that with Google. And yeah, if it's easier to bring yours from the States, then tons of people drive down. It is a very common thing. But if you are single or just without kids, it is totally possible to live in Merida, even outside the city, a little bit outside the city, and not have a car. So we really enjoy not having a car.
Yes, no payments, no insurance. It's great.
The fourth thing that will make your life a lot easier in Merida is if you get a water delivery service.
Yes, it is very helpful to have somebody that you kind of can depend on that will bring you water whenever you need it.
And this is obviously something we didn't have when we were living in the States, and for the first month, we were lugging these giant jugs and a little bit smaller ones from Walmart and OXXO and these little stores because we didn't know that people delivered water to you. It's not a thing. Someone told us.
Yeah, I didn't even know what this contraption was for when we first got here because I just was like, oh, you can pour drinks in there and drink it, what?
So what we did, we will leave our water delivery person's information down below. She's lovely. She speaks English, Spanish, and French if you're into that. But what I did was went to the nearest convenience store and looked at the label, and on the label there's a number for WhatsApp, and I WhatsApped them, and they happen to be this woman named Olivia, and she's been fantastic and proactively asks if we need water. There's a storm coming. She wanted to make sure we had enough water. She's just wonderful. I believe they deliver all over Merida, but if not, hop in the expat Facebook group and see who has a good water delivery service near wherever you're staying. But you are gonna want someone to bring these big jugs of water to you.
And it is very inexpensive. We get about 5 jugs a month, and that kind of lasts, and it costs,
I think it's 40 pesos a jug. I honestly have no idea.
I mean, when you think about going and getting water from the convenience store over and over again, this is a necessity. The fifth thing we definitely know will help make your life more comfortable in Merida is having a lavandaria that you can go to.
So this is different than where we lived in the States. In the States, you either had a washer dryer or you went to a laundromat and did your own laundry. There were wash and folds, but where we were in Los Angeles, the price just didn't make sense, so we just did our own laundry. Here, I don't even think you can do a laundry in a laundromat, or at least that's...
I have not seen that anywhere.
And we did think about getting a washer dryer when we first moved in, but we were just kind of looking ahead at all the travel we were doing. It was kind of an investment. It would make life a lot easier, but it wasn't totally necessary because we had an amazing lavandaria literally down the street.
Yeah, and they do everything wash, fold, and they are timely, they are kind, they are so generous with what they give when you're washing someone's nasty clothes.
They're wonderful. They deliver and pick up, but I just walk it down the street because it's, like I said, a block away. But if you don't have a lavandaria close to you, go in and ask if they do pickup and delivery. I believe most of them do.
And make sure you tip.
Yes.
Your lavandaria person.
Tip everyone.
Yes.
Tip your water person. Tip lavandaria. If you have a cleaning person, tip, 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 tip. We tip all of the time, all of the ways. So if your place does not have a washer dryer, do not fear. There's probably a wonderful lavandaria nearby. The sixth thing that is going to make your life a lot easier, especially if you're working like we are as digital nomads, is a Wi-Fi mesh router bouncer. I don't actually remember the technical term, but we will link ours below. So what this does, we have ours hidden by a plant. It's this guy. We have 3 of them strategically placed around the house. And what they do is shoot the Wi-Fi around. If you have a bigger space like we do, we have 2 floors, or if you're in one of the older colonial buildings, the walls are very, very thick and the Wi-Fi signal is not going to get through, and if it does, it's gonna be weak. These bounce the Wi-Fi signal around the house, making it strong pretty much everywhere we go, and it has been a lifesaver. Like I said, we'll link ours below. These are super small and light. They came in a pack of 3, and they are gonna be more inexpensive if you buy them in the States and bring them over in your suitcase. So this is not something we knew about before we moved. So we bought it off Amazon Mexico, but if you wanna save a couple dollars, probably buy it off Amazon in the States or Best Buy or whatever in the States, and then just bring it over. It'll easily fit in your suitcase. The 7th thing that is gonna make your life easier if you move to Merida, Mexico, or really anywhere in Mexico, is if you bring your own sheets and maybe towels.
We are not fancy, so we haven't really cared about the sheets. We don't care what kind of linen, or what is it?
Thread count
that we sleep on or use. So we have just gotten ours from Walmart because we don't care.
But they're definitely not the nicest, most comfortable sheets, and this is a common refrain heard among many expats. The issue here is if you don't know where you're staying, you don't know what size bed you're gonna have, and the Mexican kings can be different than the sizes in the States. So maybe bring larger sheets than you think. If this is something important to you, probably bring your own, but we've been fine. The sheets are fine, and the towels are actually more than fine.
Yeah, again, we don't care about stuff like that, but if you do.
Just wanted to let you know.
Yeah. The 8th thing we know will help you a lot here in Merida, and really anywhere in Mexico, I feel like, is using WhatsApp. And we kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier in the video, but it is a lifesaver because every business uses this app to communicate, for delivery, for menu items, for services, you name it, everyone's using it.
And what's great about WhatsApp, if your Spanish skills are not yet fluent, you can use Google Translate or any other translator to figure out what you want to say, translate into Spanish, shoot it over to whatever business you're trying to communicate with, and then when they respond, you can translate the response, and it makes communication a lot easier than trying to pantomime stuff or bumble through your beginner level Spanish.
Yeah, I had never really used WhatsApp until I moved here because, I just would text everyone or, use the app that the service I was using had. But everyone literally uses it for all forms of communication.
So download it on your phone before you go. The 9th thing that is going to make your life a literal dream if you live in Merida, Mexico, and this is only Merida, Mexico, is using a service that we love called Fitorade.
Yes, if you've watched our channel, you know that we talk about Fitorade all of the time because it is so good.
And if you don't know, it is a plant-based meal delivery service that delivers meals 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, to your doorstep, a fresh meal made every single day in his kitchen. We'll link the information below. So every day they arrive fresh, every day they're delicious, and every day we're so grateful to have Adolfo and Fitorade in our life,
yes,
feeding us because we do not like to cook.
Yeah, and it's just a good way to support someone who's in the community, just trying to provide a service for people in Merida. He is amazing. Adolfo, who runs Fitorade, so it just feels great to help support him.
And even if you're not full-time plant-based like we are, these are healthy options that are delicious. So you don't have to get it a full 5 days a week. You can get it once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, really whenever you want. You order it every morning. It's seriously incredible. So check them out.
The last thing we feel like is definitely going to help you live in Mexico a little bit more comfortably is using a VPN.
We use a service called ExpressVPN, and we'll link them down below. If you use the link, I think you'll get 3 months free and you'll help support our channels. That'd be awesome. If you guys don't have a VPN service, we highly recommend them. There are plenty of options, so do your own research. But we like ExpressVPN because they go on literally every device that we have. So Apple TV, iPads, computers, and our phones. And it allows us to both keep our internet safe and secure and watch content on our streaming channels like Netflix and Disney that's only available in the States.
It is very easy to set up. I didn't know anything about a VPN before we got one, and it is so easy to use, so easy to chat with someone if you need support.
Yes.
They are very, very helpful, and it has made things so seamless as far as streaming and keeping my accounts that I used in the States available here in Mexico.
So those are the 10 things that we have found that have made our life so much easier living in Merida, Mexico for the past almost year. I can't believe
it's been a year. That's crazy.
So crazy. Hopefully you guys found this helpful. If there are other things that we missed, if you live in Merida or anywhere in Mexico, things that you found that you didn't know you needed before you came, go ahead and leave those in the comments so everyone can help each other out. That's one of our favorite parts of this channel.
Yeah, we love talking with you guys and getting even new information that we are learning and didn't know about and we can apply to our life here as well.
We come out with new videos every Thursday, so if you're not subscribed yet, what are you doing? Subscribe.
Become a part of the Cafeino crew.
All right, here comes our tagline.
Hasta luego.
We'll see you next time.